Here we go! Up to Neverland!
Hey everybody, it's Allison. So today I'm going to be doing something a little different, trying something new. I'm going to be doing a music tag, which I found on YouTube. I'll link to the YouTube channel I found it on so they get their credit. But I'm going to do a music tag. I got my questions right here. So here we go. Favorite band or musician of the moment? My favorite band at the moment is 30 Seconds to Mars. I've been listening to their newest album, Love, Lust, Faith and Dreams, a lot this past week, and it's just so full of energy, and it has some great ballads in there, and just the lyrics are so beautiful, and not all of it is just straight up songs. It has some beautiful instrumental pieces in there, and it just blew me away the first time I listened to it. So I love that album currently, so I'm listening to that on repeat. One band you always come back to. The band I will always come back to is NSYNC. They were my first boy band, and their debut CD was the first CD I ever owned for myself at the age of 8. So I love them to pieces, and I will always come back to them. Always. Favorite movie soundtrack? With soundtrack, though, do they mean score, or do they mean actual soundtrack with songs written by popular artists? Oh, I don't know. If they're talking about favorite score, I would have to say the Chronicles of Narnia films, because those pieces are so beautiful, and I just love listening to that. If they mean soundtrack with songs on it, I'll have to say I really liked the songs on the Hunger Games soundtrack. That was a really good CD. It had a lot of good mix in there, and it really gave you a feel for District 12 mostly, because all the songs were kind of geared towards the District 12 area. So I really liked how they kind of stayed into that theme. So that's my favorite movie soundtrack that I can think of. What is your favorite song of all time? You can't ask that. But if I had to choose, I would say, favorite song of all time, I would have to say Second Star of the Right. I'm a diehard Peter Pan fan, and whenever I hear that song, I just melt, because it's so freaking beautiful, and I love that song so much. Any version of it is amazing. Most embarrassing song on your iTunes? Okay, I would have to say the most embarrassing song that I have on my iTunes, but I'm not ashamed of it, is the Naked Mole Rap from the Kim Possible series. Rufus the Naked Mole Rap rapping. That is by far my favorite song that I'm embarrassed about, but I'm not ashamed. So, if you don't know what I'm talking about, look that song up, because it's amazing. And every time it comes on, I sing it word for word. Top 3 played songs on your iTunes. Okay, according to this, number 3 is This Is War by 30 Seconds to Mars. Typical. I love that song. Alright. Number 2 is You Are Loved, Don't Give Up by Josh Groban. I love Josh Groban. And the number 1 played song on my iTunes is Comeback by Red Light Kings from the Avengers soundtrack. Yeah. I love that song. That's my jam. That is my jam. Favorite concert you've attended? I think I'd have to say my favorite concert was Josh Groban Straight to You tour in 2011. That was my first time seeing him in a concert, and I was always a huge fan, but I left an even bigger fan, and because he's just an adorable human being, and he put on a great concert. He was very interactive with the audience, so that has to be my favorite concert. Close second is Bruno Mars. That was a really good concert. I loved it. Most underrated musician, in your opinion? Can it be a band? I would have to say the most underrated band is Marianas Trench. They're a Canadian band, so they aren't really that well known in the States, but I found them through a friend of mine, and I absolutely love them. I have every single album of theirs, and again, like 30 Seconds to Mars, it's not just straight up lyrics, it's a whole bunch of beautiful instrumental pieces, beautiful melodies in the back room, lots of layering, and they do a couple songs a cappella, which is really cool to hear because they definitely have a good blend in their voices. So if you haven't heard of them, please check them out because they are really good. Favorite quote or song lyric? There are a lot of good ones, but I will say one of my favorites is a song by Owl City. There's a lyric in the song's called The Real World. I love that song because at one point in the song, of course, he sings, reality's a lovely place, but I wouldn't want to live there. Because to be honest, I have a lot of, I have a big imagination. I'm not trying to brag, but I tend to have a big imagination. So when I heard that lyric, all I could think of was, that's true, because reality is tough. I mean, growing up is really hard, so facing that reality really stinks. So listening to that, I could really connect with it, and yeah, I'm just gonna pick that one because that's the one that's in my head right now. So there's that. Okay, this one I made up myself because I really wanted to share it. Okay, I'll have to say, in no particular order, my favorites are Marianas Trench, Owl City, Josh Groban, 30 Seconds to Mars, and Paramore. Those are my top 5 because they are definitely awesome. They are. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, be sure to leave a comment below as to what you liked. But yeah, so I'm going to do this tag today. I still haven't heard back from the Disney College program, and I'm really anxious, but I thought doing this would distract me and let me just relax. But I'm going to put snippets of some of the songs and artists I talked about at the end of this video with like a little slideshow of pictures of them. So if you're interested in them, you can look them up if you haven't heard of them before, or if you've heard of them but want to know more, you can use that as your guide. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will be making another video hopefully soon, and hopefully I'll hear back from Disney by then. But if not, oh well. But anyway, bye guys.